For the land of the free and the home of the...
Good evening, Wildcat fans. Yes, indeed. We are entering week number 8. Yes, I know. It's hard to believe. Week number 8 of high school football already upon us here. The Napoleon Wildcats are at the Washington Courthouse versus the Miami Trace Panthers. But first, let's hear from Coach Snowd. Okay, the Napoleon Wildcats, coming off the loss at Fostoria, are now 1-6 versus the 5-2 Miami Trace Panthers, who are indeed a very tough team. But it would be very nice to see the Wildcats play a tough, hard game and come out here with a victory out of Washington Courthouse. That'd be an excellent ride home tomorrow, and I'd like to see it myself, Ryan. And so would you, the fans.
That's right, but they're going to have a tough game tonight here against Miami Trace Panthers, as they were state playoff contenders last year, and they get the needed points that they need. Will be back in the playoffs again this year. They are led by their senior quarterback, Trevor Rosendahl, who's 6'3", 186 pounds, so he's a big kid. He can move. Coach Snow said he can really throw. He's got some talented wide receivers and tailbacks to get the ball to, so the Wildcat defensive backfield is going to be tested once again this week. He also has a large offensive line in front of him also that will make it difficult for the defensive line and pass rush to get there, so they're going to have to be quick and really use their quickness to get to the quarterback tonight and put some pressure to take up that pressure on the defensive backs to not give Rosendahl so much time. So if they can do that, hopefully they can come out and get a good, hard-fought win here in Miami Trace and have a good ride home.
Yes, indeed. So, okay, week number 8, we're looking at yet another quarterback who loves to go to the air and then also take the ball on his own and run for the gusto. And, seems like we've been seeing this week after week after week, but now we've got to add talented receivers. We saw one last week in Chank Register, and boy, when he got open, he was really open, and he definitely found the fault in the coverage, and he beat his man. So obviously, like you say, another test here tonight in Miami Trace, and hopefully the Wildcats can conquer the Miami Trace Panthers. So as we said, week 8. Yes, I cannot believe it, Ryan. So fast the season is gone. The Wildcats come back next weekend, week number 9, home versus Akron Coventry, the last home game in Luce Field. That'll be a sad, sad moment next week. And then close out the season at Swanton. Yes, the formal NWOL foe, the Swanton Bulldogs. So let's talk about some upcoming events at Napoleon High School and the surrounding area. Yes, sir, we've got events coming up like you would not believe. Next Friday, October 24th. Yes, sir. The Napoleon Athletic Boosters, and in cooperation with the Olive Garden, we'll be sponsoring a spaghetti supper. Yes, you heard it right. A spaghetti supper with salad, breadsticks, spaghetti with meat sauce, and a beverage. Again, prepared by the Olive Garden, Friday, October 24th from 4:30 p.m. to 7 p.m. at Napoleon Middle School Cafeteria. Adults, $7. Children under 12, $4. Tickets are available at Rogaletti's Something Old, Something New in Napoleon High School. All proceeds will benefit the Charles Muckenmeyer Stadium. Okay, also, the band are now selling their win-win cards. Enjoy discounts all year round on food, flowers, videos, CDs, auto service, and more. Cards are $10 and are available from any high school band member. Proceeds will support the NHS band's new uniform fund. And the band also reminds you to support the Roger King Memorial Scholarship Fund. Details are available at the Napoleon High School concession stand. Okay, Ryan Huffman, you have something to add?
I'd like to remind all former Napoleon alumni to come out next week for the last home game in Luce Field, as there's going to be a tribute to Luce Field and kind of a reunion of sorts, as they want all alumni to come out and to the game, and there's going to be signs out on the field for your class year, and they want you to come out and stand by your class year, so to enjoy a large crowd to come out next week and have a big reunion, and it'll be a lot of fun. We'll see a great game between Napoleon and Akron Coventry, and so come out and enjoy all the festivities that are out there. The Olive Garden dinner, also enjoy that. Just make it a night of it. Bring the kids, treat them to supper with the Olive Garden, and then come out to the game and come see that last game at Luce Field is for next year's inaugural season in Buckenmeyer Stadium. And they're announcing the starting lineups for tonight, so we're about ready to get going for tonight's game here in Miami Trace.
Okay, I got some more events. Listen to this, folks. If you're seeing this, hopefully you can come out and catch it Monday. Yes, that's Monday, the 20th of October. Freshman football versus Defiance at Luce Field. Yes, that's at Luce Field under the lights, 6 p.m. Friday, October 24th, football versus Akron Coventry home, 7:30 p.m. And girls state water polo tourney next Friday. Okay, we're talking Saturday the 25th, district volleyball here, 2 p.m., Division 3 and Division 4, and the regional cross country at Tiffin. And Friday the 31st, football at Swanton, and the boys state water polo tournament in Columbus, Ohio. So good luck to all those people, boys and girls water polo, cross country, and also the football team, as that's what we've got left. Teams in and out their season this year in a tournament trail. Yes, indeed. In the weather, you can definitely tell. Usually always hits the last 4 games. We had a little touch of it last week at Fostoria, the cold weather setting in. I'd say it's probably about 50 degrees right now, game time temperature, and it is supposed to drop and drastically. So yes, indeed, prepare for 2 cold games in Akron Coventry and Swanton. And here come the Wildcats in Napoleon, as you hear it from the Napoleon crowd. Hey, they're coming out on the field, and it looks like they're ready to go. Again, this is a field that reminds me of the Finley Stadium, the nice black track, and you walk around, and just a lot of similarities with the Finley Stadium. And my oh my, the Cats, who are in white tonight. Yes, sir, this is NCTV5, your hometown public access channel, bringing you the best that we have to offer. We'd like to remind you that Napoleon Wildcat football is brought to you by the Henry County Bank. Like an old friend, they're here for you. That's the Henry County Bank. Okay, Wildcats will receive the ball. We've got Kramer, Cordes, and Snyder standing at about the 10 and 15 yard lines respectively. It looks like we've got a few Wildcat injured here tonight. Looking at John Black, Tyson Bolton, Randy Miller, all on the injured list. Oh, that was a kind of a, I would say, a horizontal kick, as the ball looked like it was horizontal. So, my oh my. We'll see what's going on with that. Okay, so Wildcats will take over at the 20-yard line. In comes number 4. Yes, that is a number change. Number 4, Scott Rex, to lead his Wildcats. And we're going to see just what these Wildcats have here tonight. Looks like also Doug Beneke will be wearing number 43. Here's Rex, fakes a give. Oh, Snyder has stood up and dropped back to just about the 14-yard line. That was a fake handoff to the near side of your screen, and then brought it back around to the top side, and there was nothing doing there. 3 or 4 Miami Trace Panther defenders were there on the coverage with 11:40 in the first quarter. Wildcats are going to be looking at 2nd and 11 Ball is on the 19-yard line. Here comes Jade Crossland, the senior center, and the rest of the Wildcats up to the line. Looks like the Panthers are set. Rex, the pitch, comes to the near side. Kramer's drop. Gets back to the original line of scrimmage. A gain of about a yard. So we're going to have 3rd and about 9. Okay, that play just basically came around to the near side of your screen. Now they're on the near side hash mark. Yes, sirree. Ball again on the 21-yard line. My, oh my. Yes, the Wildcat fans are on the same side as the Miami Trace fans, all sitting underneath us as the press box is right above the seats. Rex gives up the middle to Kramer. I'm going to say gain of maybe 1. So the Wildcats are going to punt. So they ran that one right up the middle, and I'm going to say that's not the way to go with these Miami Trace Panthers. As the punt team comes in with 10:24 left in the first quarter.
Coach Snow told me in his interview that he was going to try and revert to a more of a balanced attack as they really aired it out last week, and he's going to look to run a little bit more this week. So we'll see what they can do. Is glad to see the punt team get a punt off this week, as the first 2 were blocked last week. In Fostoria, as Ryan Kramer sends the punt down to about the 37-yard line. That equals out to about a 43-yard punt for Ryan Kramer if he's doing the punting duties here tonight.
Okay, very good. Heard a little story at the tailgate party. There is a field right on the other side of the visitor side, I guess you'd call it, where the visiting team stands. You know, they said it's pretty lonely over there. Like the trainers are over there, and you see the blue Napoleon area schools van. Here are the Miami Panthers. Number 45 breaks a tackle, comes up through the secondary, finally brought down by Nick Sonnenberg. Nick wouldn't let anybody get past him. I'm going to say gain of about 20 yards. That was 45, Justin Johnson. So we're looking at the 30-yard line. Wow, as they came right up. Miami Panthers line up in the T formation. Rosenthal with the handoff again to 45. Nothing doing there. Lee Zamaripa in on the tackle. Excellent defense by Lee Zamaripa. Would like to also remind you, Kenny Peach will be wearing number 34 tonight. Wow, what a run to open up their offensive possession for the Miami Trace Panthers. As I was telling the story, it is very lonely over there. And they said, well, sometimes it's nothing to see a cow walk behind you right on the other side of the fence. So we'll keep our eyes out for that. Here's 18, Rosenthal. The long snap count, 8 in motion. Fakes the give, rolls out, passes to 44, threw his hands out, incomplete. It's going to bring up 3rd and 10 for the Miami Trace Panthers. Brad Corden was in on the coverage there. Again, a broken up pass intended for number 44, Matt Patterson. Okay, here we go. We've got wideouts to the near side of your screen. Patterson in the backfield. Flag on the play. Gets it off to number 7. Brad Ford. Tackle by Brooks Pedraza. That's a flag on the play going against the Miami Trace Panthers. A holding. So we're just going to see what's happening here.
Many people are, many Wildcat fans and people that came down to the game tonight like to make the similarities between our two towns here in Washington Courthouse and Napoleon. They both similar small towns with a lot of rural areas around, and the courthouses are even much alike, as they have a similar appearance, although theirs is not under construction, as Rosendahl is under, as he's being pressured and it's gonna fling it up there, and is incomplete. There's some big pressure by Lee Zamaripa. Got into the backfield, and so did Ross Durham, putting some heavy pressure on Rosendahl. As from his knees, he flung a pass out to a receiver, but was incomplete. But back to my story, they said in the little handout they sent us at school, they have the second largest busing route in the state, as they have a very large area of school to cover. And the punt, it's a line drive punt out to Snyder. Snyder with a good block from number 8, number 9, Nick Sonnenberg, with a good block over on your far side of your screen about the 25-yard line. Took out a player that gave Ben Snyder the sideline, and he got up to about the 45-yard line. So a 35-yard return by Ben Snyder.
I'd like to add, Ryan, he came across, he was actually set up on the near hash mark. He went all the way across the field and took that run up. So he playing games with the Miami Trace Panther punt team.
And then we had a run by Snyder again, gets the ball right after the punt return for 3 yards. A nice job by the Napoleon punt team, as they did not, when he reversed the field, they did not clip or hold anybody, which can happen when a guy reverses the field like that. And so nice job by them also. He's got 2 backs in the backfield, Snyder and Kramer. Beneke to your lower portion of your screen. It gives to Kramer right up the middle, up inside the 40, about the 38-yard line for a gain of 3. That's going to bring up 3rd down and 4 for the Wildcats. So Rex is faced with a 3rd down and 4 situation with 7:16 to go from about the 39-yard line. Fakes the give and is sacked at about the 40-yard line by number 45, Justin Johnson, as he looked like to roll out to the lower portion of your screen and was going to hit probably Ross Durham coming across the middle. But number 45, Justin Johnson, was able to knife through the line and get at his ankles and bring him down, as Coach Snode sends out the punting team again with Ryan Kramer. Oh, Snyder is punting this time, sorry. And we have flags on the field. This brings that down to 4th down and 5. This is on Miami Trace Panthers. This would be close to a 1st down, but it's going to be illegal procedure on the Napoleon Wildcats. So that's going to send them back 5 to the 45-yard line, bring up a 4th down and 10 from the 45-yard line. Snyder's back to punt. Good snap. Plenty of time. A nice high punt, as they're going to let it bounce, and as it bounces inside the 10-yard line, and that's where they're going to bring it down at about the 10. And so the Wildcats have pinned the Miami Trace Panthers deep in their own territory with 6:07 remaining in the 1st quarter. This is NCTV5, your hometown cable access station, bringing you the best that we have to offer. It seemed like the Miami Trace punt return team just really did not want to get around that one with the Wildcats coming at him, and let it bounce, and they pin deep as they give to Johnson, who is swarmed down at about the 10-yard line again by Van Alsdale and Brad Cordes get off the bottom of the pile as Justin Van Alsdale swarmed down that play. Or not Justin, sorry, that's his younger brother, Jared. Van Alsdale, quick to get around the end and get it and made a good tackle on Miami Trace tailback. As Rosendahl throws to his back, Johnson, who lets it go off the fingertips, as I think he saw Ryan Kramer in his shadows, and did not want to get hit and just kind of let it go off his fingertips.
Yes, sir. Ryan Huffman brings up 3rd down and 10 for the Miami Trace Panthers. Both teams playing excellent defense here tonight, not able to generate much on the offense. So we're looking at possibly in the early part of the game a defensive battle. Wildcats coming out real impressive here tonight.
3rd down and 10 for Rosendahl.
3rd and 10, drops back. Almost picked off by Brooks Pedraza. Another impressive play by the Wildcats. Have the Miami Trace Panthers deep in their own territory. This is going to bring up great field position for the Wildcats if all goes well on the return. Of course, Ben Snyder, Ryan Kramer back deep, all except for that one offensive play that Miami Trace Panthers busted. They haven't done anything since then. The punt is so short. Fielded at about the 45. Snyder takes it at the 40, gets to the 30, the 20. Excellent move, breaks a few tackles, and is up to the 20, where the Wildcats should definitely come away with something here right now. As we say, take advantage of what the other team gives you, and the Wildcats need 7 right here.
Off of a punt, you can't ask for better field position than this, and at the 20-yard line, a nice job by Ross Durham. We got a good pin block at the point of attack where Ben Snyder just got going to get up the sideline, and then he made a nifty little move at about the 30-yard line to get 10 more, as they're going to run just a quarterback sneak with Scott Rex and gets about 4 yards. So a good little quick hitter there by the Wildcats as he picks up 4 yards on 1st down. But back to the play before when Brooks Pedraza had it going off his hands. That could have been 6 points for the Wildcats.
Yes, sir. But unfortunately, it rolled out. That would have been awesome. 2nd down and 7 with 4:37 in the first. Wildcats in Panther territory. The pass to Durham is caught. Nearly a touchdown. Down to about the 2-yard line. An excellent rollout pass by Scott Rex as he rolled it out to the top side of your screen, the very, very top, and found the man wearing 88, Ross Durham. And as I've said before, if you feed him, he'll catch it. Or should I say, if you feed him, he'll eat it. And by golly, every ball you pass to him, it's almost a guaranteed catch. The Wildcats get up to the line. 1st and goal to go with 4:13 in the first. They give us to Snyder. Touchdown, Napoleon. Yes, indeed. Go Wildcats. Hey, hey, hey. Oh, yes. And the Wildcats are up first and homecoming night in Miami Trace. Okay. Excellent, excellent play by Ben Snyder. Just kind of finally, for once, the Wildcats walked into the end zone instead of having someone walk in the end zone on them. Matthew Russell, number 5, in to attempt the extra point. The kick is up, and it looks very good. So, Wildcats are up 7-0 with 4:07 in the first. And my, oh my, the Wildcats are fired up. But I don't know about these Miami Trace Panthers. They look kind of low. Yes, sir. The Wildcats playing some nice ball. We've got Ben Snyder really making some moves. And he's going to get one yet. He will get one yet if they keep kicking it to him like they do. And boy, oh boy, Ben is really pumped up about this. A great leader on this team. And my, oh my, has he gotten his team fired up.
That whole touchdown was set up by a great defense as they pinned him down at the 10-yard line. Did not let him get any yardage after that. Got the ball, and after the great punt return by Ben Snyder, 25 yards, got it down to the 20. And after that, it was just a good pass to Durham, and Snyder walked it in from there. But I was glad to see this early touchdown out of the Wildcats. I was wondering if they'd be a little sluggish coming off that bus, but because we were sluggish after we got out of our van of getting down here.
Still, though, Ryan, a key thing is we were excited to get out of the van, and we wanted to use up some of that energy when we had to sit for that whole 3.5 hours. And I think that's what the case with the Wildcats right now. The Panthers had all day to sit around and think about this, but the Wildcats, were on the bus at noon or so, and boy, they're ready.
They sure are. That was good to see. It was a big hit by Josh Weekers, number 27, as he hit him at about the 35-yard line as he stuffed the hole. Right away and made a good tackle. Did not let the runner break that tackle. Rosendahl brings his team up to the lines. They're in the I formation with a wide receiver to the lower portion of your screen. Number 8 goes in motion. They give to 45 Johnson right up the middle. And a good tackle by Brooks Pedraza. Johnson has momentum, but Brooks Pedraza would not let go and made a fine tackle about the 43-yard line. That's going to be a gain of about 5.
Okay. Here come the Miami Trace Panthers. 2nd down and 5 with 3:33 in the first. So, here we are. We've got wideouts to the near side of your screen. Number 8 in motion. Fakes the give. There comes number 8 around the top side of your screen. He could be off to the races. He's got Ben Snyder tackled by Ben Snyder at the 45-yard line. Good enough for a first down. Looks like, I'm going to say, 18-yard run as they bring that. Number 8 goes in motion and just comes right across. They call that a trap. And my, oh my, he broke it. And sometimes that's the only way to go when you're backed over to the near hash. Hey, take it up around, run out and around the middle, stretch out the field, play the whole field. And that's what they've done. The Miami Trace Panthers. Rosendahl back to number 8. He picks it up at the 20, breaks a tackle to the 10, 5. Touchdown Panthers as he was tackled by Nick Sonnenberg. And they made that look easy with 2 quick, long plays. They come with the run to the far side of your screen and then drop back and go with the bomb. And just what Rosenthal liked to do. He passed, and he does have talented receivers, as number 8, Spears, should have been tackled at about the 20-yard line right initially when he caught that ball. But that didn't happen. Looks like they're going for the 2-point PAT. Rosendahl back, fakes the give, pitches to 45. He walks in. And we've got a score of 8-7 with 2:56 in the first quarter. Miami Trace Panthers 8, Wildcats 7. And let's talk about that drive, Ryan Huffman.
There wasn't much before the, there was the 18-yard reverse to Spears, and then they hit Spears again with, he just kind of went about 7 yards down and turned around, and Rosendahl had the ball there. He broke a couple of tackles and ran into the end zone, so that was a big play for them as they did not get down after the Wildcat touchdown and came right back with 8 points of their own to go up 8-7 with 2:56 to go for the Miami Trace Panthers.
It's important for the Wildcats to keep their heads up. They cannot get down right now because we've already seen that the Wildcats can hang with these Miami Trace Panthers. So I say Wildcats, come right here and punch it back every time. And punch it. There's the kick. It's up. Way to your near side and fielded by Kramer. He's going to take it up to the center field. Gets it up to about the 30, brought down at the 27-yard line. So we're going to see what the Wildcats have to offer right here as everybody comes in.
This time they'll take over.
Looks like Matt Belford's checking into the lineup. Yes, sir. Matt Belford's really running hard these days as Rex sprints out to his team. He's got to play, and hopefully these Wildcats are fired up. So here we go with 2:49 in the first. Here's Rex with the pitch. Down to Snyder. He gets up to the 30, gain of 3. He's going to bring up 2nd and 7. Excuse me, 2nd and 8, they call it. Ball's on the 30. With 2:30. In comes Doug Beneke. I've got to believe that is Doug. Wearing a different jersey here tonight. He usually goes with 44. Okay, here are the Wildcats. The snap. Rex drops back. Rolls out to the top side of your screen. Nobody there. Keeps it. Hey, cuts back across the grain. Up to the 40. First down. To the, nearly the 50. About the 48-yard line. And there's a flag on the play. It was thrown deep field. Thrown actually behind the play at about the 38-yard line. And that's going to go against the Wildcats.
The bad thing about this kind of cross here, it's away from the play.
Okay, so that's going to be a spot foul.
Out this side.
So that's going to bring them back. Well, folks, a yard behind where they originally started. So, 1:57 in the first. The Wildcats are going to start this all over again, and that's what happens when you get a penalty. 2nd down and 10. Ball on the Wildcat 28-yard line. Okay. We're going to see how the Wildcats are lined up. They're sending Jared Van Osdale to the near side of your screen. Caesar Rodriguez and Ross Durham to the top side of your screen. We've got Kramer and Snyder. The give is to Snyder. Nothing doing there. Gain of about 1, if any. So we're looking at 3rd and 10. Oh, that's what they call it. No gain. That clock's ticking. We're nearing the end of the first quarter. 1:20 in the first. Okay. 3rd and 10.
70 seconds left here in the first half of play. It's 3rd and 10 now. All of it.
Here we go. Rex drops back, fakes the give, rolls to the near side of your screen, decides to keep it again, tucks that ball under his arm, chased out of bounds at about the 35-yard line. Okay, so we're going to see a punting situation, although it is 4th and 4. Looks like we'll definitely see a punt. This will be number 2, Ben Snyder. Okay. The snap, a good one. The kick is up. Sends a bounder again. Oh, number 7, Brad Ford picks it up and is leveled by 7, Brad Quarters. He gets an elbow in there and takes him out. So we're looking at 48 seconds in the first. I thought the Panthers were going to let yet another ball go. Ryan Huffman.
I did too, but Ford made the wise decision there. As this center, a good bounce on that ball, as that would have bounced probably at least another 10 yards downfield, and they would have been pinned back around the 20-yard line at least again. But he made the wise decision and picked it up, and saved them 15 yards with 48 seconds to go here in the first quarter. Score 8-7 in favor of the Miami Trace Panthers. As it gives to Johnson is nothing doing in the middle of the line there as Jason Richtenberg steps up in the middle, and Ross Durham and Josh Fruth combine all on the tackle there. So nothing doing there for the Panther tailback, Johnson.
20 seconds left here in the first quarter.
He's got 15 seconds to go here in the first quarter to score 8-7. Rosendaal's barking out the signals. He's got an eye formation. They fake the give to Johnson, and he keeps it, and he goes up to about the 45-yard line, where that's going to bring up about a third down and 4 situation for the Miami Trace Panthers, as we've come to an end in the first quarter with the score 8-7 in favor of Miami Trace, as they will switch sides, and Miami Trace will take over in the second quarter from the 45-yard line.
Quite the first quarter, Ryan Huffman. A score of 8-7. The Wildcats definitely hanging in there. What are keys to possibly have the lead going in to halftime? Things that I think the Wildcats need to do are really stay tight on the defense. Stay really, really tight on the defense. They cannot let these Miami Trace Panthers break out on those the 3 long plays that they've had have killed them, and that's all it's been. 3 long plays that they've broken. Otherwise, the defense is doing a tremendous job, and offense still needs to grind it out and balance that attack, and I think we'll be fine.
That's right. On defense, they just got to make that first hit and make the tackle. They can't let any Panthers break any tackles. On offense, they got to keep moving the ball, as they did good when they only had 20 yards to go, but when they get back into 30 or 70 and 80 yards to go, then they have trouble. So, well, as it seems to stall is 45. Johnson breaks it on the option and breaks a tackle, runs out of bounds about the 15-yard line, as the quarterback Rosendahl pitched it late at about the 50-yard line, and Johnson went right up the sideline to about the 15-yard line for another big play, like we were just talking about, for the Miami Trace Panthers.
And I think it just dropped another 10 degrees here in Washington Courthouse, as the Wildcats, just as we're talking about not letting them break big plays, the Wildcat defense needs to sniff that play out, because it's the second time they've done that. They fake the give up the middle and then pitch it back. That was to Patterson, gain of very few, maybe 1. Very key for these Wildcats to sniff that play out and maybe not commit so much and give themselves time to at least stop it. But some excellent blocking on the Miami Trace offensive line, as it is a battle of the trenches here in Washington Courthouse. Timeout, Miami Trace. That's their first. Oh, we've got a timeout. Had a very nice trip down here today, Ryan Huffman. I got out of school at about noon, and we all headed down here. Had a nice dinner at Ponderosa and Finley. It really is not a difficult place to find. It's a really, really nice drive, despite ran into a little construction in Finley on I-75, and then again, and just real close here to Miami Trace when we stopped at the hotel and at Dayton and headed on 35 up here. We found a little bit more construction, but hey, that was all right. Got here at about 6, had a very, very nice, great tailgate party thrown down by Greg Gorman, graduate, 1973 graduate of Napoleon High School, and he was truly excited. Got himself an interview on the local radio station here in Washington Courthouse. So both teams are back on the field. Let's get back to the game. Here's Rosenthal. That's Trevor Rosenthal. Fakes the give, the pitch coming back this way. Running back is at Spears, is at the 5, still on his feet. And man, oh man, this boy stays on those feet. And that was good second or third effort, grinding those yards out. Gonna bring up first down and goal for the Miami Trace Panthers, as he would not go down. Ryan Huffman, if you're taping this game, when you get it, put the instant replay function on your VCR and look at that one again. See how many times he kept on his feet.
That's right. He kept his legs a-pumping and never gave up and kept driving into the Wildcat defenders and kept kept picking up yards as he came all the way down to the 6-yard line. He was hit at first about the 10 and gained up 4 yards after his first hit. As it gives again is to Johnson, and he's in for the touchdown. As he seemed to break a tackle, and Ben Snyder is saying no, he did not get in. The men in striped shirts said yes, he did. From our vantage point, I can't really tell if he did get in or not. We are too far away as we are in the other end of the press box. But he got first contact at about the 3-yard line and kept moving like Spears did. Was able to lean forward for the touchdown, as that was a 6-yard run by Johnson. He has racked up 87 yards rushing already on 8 carries. As they give to Johnson again, and he's going to be in for the touchdown, but there's a flag on the play, I imagine holding by number 7, Brad Ford. We'll see what the call is. He called a clip on the Miami Panthers. Is this going to bring up a long 2-point conversion here for the Miami Trace Panthers? So that scoring drive for the Miami Trace Panthers was all set up by Johnson's 40-yard run. And after that, it was just Spears with the 10-yard run, and then Johnson's 6-yard TD run. This is going to be out at about the 17.5-yard line. As they're still going for it. They got 2 wides out. Drops back. He's looking for Spears. As he's got it from 17.5 yards out, as Rosendahl just laid it up there, and Spears ran underneath it and got turned around and was still able to keep his balance and haul it in for the 2-point conversion. This is going to be imperative that the Wildcats get something going here on offense to give that defense some break and get some points on the scoreboard before they fall too far behind with this Miami Trace offense.
Very excellent point, as yes indeed, the offense needs to hold on to the ball, at least try and drive it out and control the ball for a little bit to keep it away from this rabid Miami Trace Panthers offense. They can move the ball, and they look pretty while they're doing it. 10:43 left in the first half. So we've got Kramer, Cordes, and Snyder in the backfield. Yeah, they're deep. Here the kick is up, and it's low on the ground, fielded by, I'm going to say, Brooks Pedraza. He drives up the middle, runs into his own guy, and is brought down at about the 44-yard line. So the Wildcats have a little bit of yards to cover here. Yes, sir. They're going to need about 56 yards for the touchdown. So let's see what they come up with here. And this really isn't all bad when you look where you could have it. Any place behind this at the 30, 20, 10, 5, 4. So here's Snyder in motion. Rex gives up the middle to Kramer. He was stopped at the 45, gain of about 1. So we're going to bring up 2nd down and 9.
16-7 over to Napoleon and Steve down the road.
Okay. All right. 16-7 in favor of the Miami Trace Panthers. Yes, it's homecoming night in Washington Courthouse. The homecoming game. Okay. Here's Rex. He gets his men set up. Rodriguez. And is that Sonnenberg? Yes, it was. The pitch is to Kramer. He cuts it back up the middle, across the 50 to about the 48-yard line, where he's finally brought down by 73. Eli Carter. Okay. So, 3rd down and 2 for the Napoleon Wildcats. This is a crucial 3rd down play right here. Wildcats need to convert. Okay, we've got 3 men in the backfield. The give is to Cordes. Gets around the outside. 1st down and more up to the 40-yard line. 1st down, Wildcats. Excellent blocking. They sent the 3 men in the backfield up around the top side of your screen. And that was good for a 1st down with 9:16 in the first half. So looks like 16-7 is a score. Hey, Wildcats, be fortunate if they can move this ball and get in touchdown territory. They're inside at the Panthers' 40-yard line. Rex fakes the give, rolls out, pitches to Snyder, and is dropped at the 48. Right where the play before last originated from. So again, the Wildcats find themselves back to where they started. We're real close to it, and this looks at the, we're going to say 2nd down and 15. Ball is on the Panther 45-yard line. In comes Jared Rathke, the senior. Decided to go up for football this year. Was a former cross-country runner. And so I think he's enjoying this year. So they got him into the works. We're looking at Snyder and Belford in the backfield. Cordes in motion. Rex fakes the give, rolls out to the top side of your screen. Nothing doing, another loss. So that was a loss of about 3. So we're looking now at 3rd and 8, 3rd and 17. That was a loss of 2. Ball is on the Napoleon Wildcat 47. Excuse me, the Panther 47-yard line. Okay, 3rd and 17. I say go to Ross Durham. Send him out and see if he can do it. He's done it before from 25 down. Okay. Rex drops back. Rolls out. Pressure. Sacked. To just about his original line of scrimmage. So Rex under pressure. And during that possession, it's going to bring up a punt for the Wildcats. Really not the ideal series you'd like. But the Miami Trace Panthers turned it up a notch on defense. So looks like we're going to have Snyder for the punt. The snap is up. And the kick goes back to 8. Spears. He fields one at the 20. The 30, getting a little speed to the 40, tripped up by 34, Kenny Peach. At about the 42-yard line. Excellent shoestring tackle by Kenny Peach, the junior from Napoleon, Ohio. So, I'm going to bring up 6:55 in the first half. The Panthers are going to go to work, Ryan Huffman.
The Wildcats did get a 1st down on that drive, which was really what this defense needed to catch their breath a little bit, but it would have been nice to see a little better drive after the 1st down. As it went downhill after that. But for the Panthers, first play from scrimmage, it went off number 8, Nick Spears' hands. And this is going to bring up 2nd down and 10 for the Panthers. There's 6:51 remaining in the first half.
Okay, Ryan, thank you very much. Here's Rosenthal. Under center. Drops back. Hands off to Johnson. Nothing doing. The Wildcats were right there. I'm going to say no gain. It's going to bring up 3rd and 10. And it seems like whenever the Wildcats have a not so hot offensive possession, the same also happens for the Miami Trace Panthers.
That seems to have been the case so far tonight, as the Wildcats got the touchdown, and then the Panthers answered right back with another touchdown. And hopefully the Panthers will stall here like the Wildcats did, and the Wildcats can get some good field possession out of it. Oh, he's got... Oh, no. Rosendahl floats one out there to Brad Ford for the 59-yard touchdown pass. Rosendahl to Ford he was wide open after the pump fake, and there was nobody left after that one.
Oh my, utter amazement as Brad Ford, I will say, the best player that I've seen, just from what I've seen here tonight. It's got to be a toss-up between Mr. Brad Ford and Mr. Spears. Some obvious talent on this team. 22-7. There they go with the option again. Not caught. Incomplete. Snyder in on the coverage. And finally, the Panthers are stopped. Well, they've got 3 touchdowns and two-point conversions. They can score from anywhere on the field, as they've proved that here tonight. And my, oh my, he broke out real quick. I don't know where the DBs have been. Wow, Ryan Huffman.
That was just a great pass by the senior Trevor Rosendahl, as he put lots of air under that and let Brad Ford, get under that or run underneath it and hold it right in. Caught him right in stride, and there was nobody that was going to catch Ford after that one. It was a nice play by the Miami Trace Panthers for the touchdown to up the score to 22-7. So Wildcats with 6 minutes and 7 seconds to go really need to get something going on offense now to go into the halftime with a little bit of momentum. Number 76 is kicking off again as he kicks it. It's picked up by Kenny Peach as he breaks a tackle and takes it up to about the 40-yard line.
I thought he was going to be smoked, Ryan. When he picked that ball up, he kind of picked it up and looked around. I thought he was going to be nailed. Thought he was going to get his clock rung, but he didn't. And he made a real nice return out of it. Ball is on 41-yard line, just about where the Wildcats started their last possession, and let's hopefully see him move down this field. Go Wildcats. 6:01 in the first. 22-7 in favor of the hometown, the Miami Trace Panthers. Here's Rex, fakes the give, keeps it, passes, and is it picked off or not? Yes, interception off the fingertips of Ross Durham. That was his intended receiver. An excellent heads-up play by the Miami Panthers and defense as he dove, sacrificed his body for the ball. And, well, the Miami Trace Panthers are going to pick up just where the Wildcats started, but on the other side of the 50, the 41-yard line. So we're going to see what's going to happen. We've got Bradford on the near side of your screen, Nick Spears on the top side. Hey, here's Rosenthal, fakes the give, rolls to the top side of your screen, under pressure, scrambles, great movement, eludes 2 intended sackers, I guess you would call them, advances the ball up across the 50 to the 45-yard line, and that was some nice, fancy feet work in the backfield to escape Kenny Peach. And I'm going to say also Nick Lizamaripa in the backfield. And, man, he just kind of weaved and really got out of the coverage.
That's right. We said he could also was very agile in our opening there, as he can move also, and he showed it there on that play as he eluded 2 rushers in the backfield and then took off down the sideline. He would have been great if the Wildcats could have held on. He was holding that ball like a hot dog out there, but could have caused a fumble, but he was too good of an athlete and got away, as that's going to be a gain of about 8 for Johnson right up the middle. Second down and 2 from the 44-yard line with 5:20 to go and ticking in the first half. It's 22-7 in favor of the hometown Miami Trace Panthers. As Rosendahl's under center, give is right up the middle to Matt Patterson, and he's gonna be real close to the first down. to see on the spot as Bachman was on the tackle. As they mark it short of the first down at the 35-yard line, as they need just inches for the first down here on third down. As number 80, Ryan Faulkner, comes into the game. Play split end as Johnson goes out, and it's our quarterback sneak right at the middle, and he dives, jets past the defensive lineman of the point and runs out for about 13 yards for the first down. So Wildcat defensive line was really fooled on that play once they brought Johnson out of the backfield. I was expecting to give it to Johnson right at the middle, but
I don't think I've ever seen a quarterback sneak for a gain of that many yards.
As he drops back and throws to number 7, Brad Ford, but he drops it and puts it on the turf. He had the rough problem of the ball hitting him in the hands. I hate it if I'm a wide receiver, I'd hate it when that happens. That's going to bring up second down and 10 from the 23-yard line with 4 minutes to go in the first half. Rosendaal's under center, gives to Patterson. He breaks some more tackles and just kind of hops along there for about a gain of 6 yards.
His career here at Monterey through the junior high ranks up to right now. He knows the ball there.
This brings up third down and 2 from about the 14-yard line.
He reminds me of a bowling ball.
So another big back for the Wildcats have to contend with. They give the pitch to Johnson. Breaks a tackle. Touchdown, Miami Trace. It's now 28-7 in favor of the hometown Miami Trace Panthers. As your hometown Wildcats are really facing an uphill battle now. Down 21 points with 3:20 to go in the first half. Johnson takes the pitch and walks in from 13 yards out. That takes Johnson over the 100-yard mark. He now has 110 on 11 carries, averaging 10 yards a pop. And here they come, the 2-point conversion. They roll down to the bottom of the screen. 2-point conversion is good as Brad Ford catches it. Now it's 30-7.
3 minutes and 20 seconds.
This is NCTV5, your hometown cable access station, bringing you the best that we have to offer. That was a well-managed drive by the senior quarterback Trevor Rosendahl. Has just strung a lot of good plays together and took it in for the touchdown. As the Wildcats are really going to have to get their act together here before this turns into a real, how should I put it, a good old butt kicking. So we got 3:20 to go here in the second period. So Wildcats are down 30-7.
Very, very judicious
Peach receives the kickoff again as he sees an opening and takes it up to about the 35-yard line. The point offense comes onto the field.
Okay, Ryan Huffman. Wildcats, I believe, just need to keep the possession of this ball until they see 0-0-0 at the end of this half. Those Panthers are lethal when they get the ball. and I believe that they would do anything to get another score here at the end of the first. So, Napoleon Wildcats need to keep their heads up. The give is to Snyder, and he is pushed right back. Flag in the play. I think he's going to get every bit of that back, and a little more. As I believe there was some taunting going on. Personal foul against the Miami Trace Panthers, and that just comes right down to poor sportsmanship. You don't need to shove it into somebody's face, and all that did was made Ben Snyder mad. And so the coaches need to get him settled down. And that is totally uncalled for and against anything that this game is meant for. So they're going way back. That's a good 15 yards. Okay. So 1st and 10. Excuse me. Let's see what's going on here. All right. 1st and 4. Ball is on the 42. So instead of 1st and 10, Napoleon Wildcats have gotten a gift. 1st and 4. So they need to take advantage of it. Fakes the give, rolls to the inside of your screen, has somebody open. Jared Van Osdale, he gets pushed out, way out, to about lane number 6 on the Miami Trace track. So, 1st down and 10, ball is on the Miami Trace 42-yard line. So, all right, 250. These Wildcats would, I'd love to see him put a score on the board. Right here, 30-7. The Miami Trace Panther lead. Got Doug Beneke way up to the top side of your screen. Checks with the official, make sure he's all right. The snap, Rex drops back. Hey, he's got a guy open. Durham, no, incomplete. He bobbled it as he got hit by 2 Miami Trace Panther defenders. So, off the hands of Durham, and he was open too. That was right there, Ryan Huffman.
That was a nice looking play by the Napoleon Wildcats as they brought Ross Durham was at the top of your screen, lined up on the line, and came all the way around, and the Napoleon offensive line gave him plenty of time for that play, and he was able to have enough time for Scott Rex to get him off a nice pass, but it was just a little long, and Ross Durham got hit as he's ready to catch it, as he came up hobbling a little bit, but still in there. As he goes into his route, Rex has some pressure as he keeps it, as he breaks a couple of tackles and gets about 5 yards. That's going to bring up 3rd down and 5 for the Wildcats. A nice job by Scott Rex to get something out of a lot of nothing. So it brings up 3rd down and 4. So Scott Rex brings the team up to the line. Fakes a give. Hits Ross Durham, and it's going to be a gain of about 3. It's going to bring up a decision for Coach Nodas. That's going to bring up 4th down and 1 as Ross Durham's getting up real slowly now.
Well, Ryan, there comes a point when 2 commentators need to do this. I'm going to say he needs to go for it, already in territory. They get it, they're going to get it at, well, say at least a 30. What do you say?
I think you're right. And, I mean, there's only a minute and a half to go, and they need the 1st down as they give the ball, as they do go for it, as they give the ball to Brad Cordes, and as he works hard for the 1st down. It's going to depend on the spot. I'm looking at it.
No. The referee on our side had it very much closer than what it is.
I don't even see the ball. I don't know where they've got it spotted at.
It's right by his legs. They got it this far.
As they bring out the change, I got to think it's short, but it depends upon the spot. And it is short. It's short by
2 yards.
2 lengths of the football. And so it's going to go back to the Miami Trace offense with 1:13 to go, and as we've seen, this is plenty of time for their offense. We'll see what they can do.
Fostoria did it last week in a matter of 8 seconds. Yes, folks, one play, 8 seconds, and they scored quick. Ran him right down the sideline and beat, again, the Wildcat defense. So we're going to see right here. Here's Rosenthal, 113 in the first half. Rosenthal, hey, indeed he does drop back. Hey, there's 34. Kenny Beach with a hand on the ball. He comes in, gets it, but there was an early flag. So we're going to see what's happening. I've got to say against Miami Trace. So it's probably, yes, holding Miami Trace. So it's going to back them up. Yes, indeed, as the referee bends over and picks up his flag with 109. Okay, that was a 10-yard penalty. So first and 22, and I almost think that these long distances entice the teams to go to the air even more and win back all that yardage and more, Ryan Huffman.
We could see Trevor Rosendahl do that right here. A minute to go, he might just air it out right here and see how much he can get right on this first place. Nope, but they give it to Patterson right up the middle. He gets about 3 yards, so a nice job by the Napoleon defense to recognize that and not let him spring a trick on him there and let him rumble a ways, but he only was able to get 3 yards. That brings up second down and 18 with 35 seconds to go here in the first half. Now they might just down it and say we'll take the 37 lead into halftime. Rosendahl is under center. Gives to Patterson again, and he is stopped for about 3 more yards. They've got 10 yards to go, and they're running off the field, so that's going to be the end of the first half with the score 30-7 going into the halftime. Enjoy halftime, everybody.
Fans, to the start of the second half. Well, here's the story of the first half. The Wildcats jumped out to an early 7-0 lead, but have fell behind 30 unanswered points to the Miami Trace Panthers. Here's Ryan Huffman with a little bit of a statistical analysis of the first half. He's going to run through that real quick for you, the fans. This is NCTV Channel 5, your hometown public access channel.
Well, for the Miami Trace Panthers, it's been all about big plays here tonight as Trevor Rosendahl has 101 yards passing, and most of that came on 2 pass plays as he hit Spears for 35 yards and Ford for 59 yards. Ford also added a 7-yard pass. Running the ball, Johnson's been their big guy on the ground with 110 yards on 11 carries. Patterson's also chipped in 15 yards on 4 carries, and Rosendahl had a couple of quarterback sneaks for 33 yards for him. And for the Wildcats, not a lot going for them as Kramer was the leading rusher with 17 yards on 5 carries. Rex is 3 of 4 with 1 interception for 31 yards. The Wildcats' lone touchdown came on a Snyder 3-yard run for them. That's most of the statistics for the first half. Scott, I'm going to throw a question out to you here now, and we'll answer it later. I'll let you think about it here, and then we'll answer it later in the game. But who is the best quarterback we've seen this week? Williamson, or this year, sorry. Williamson, Rosenbald, Bringman last week, and Carpenter from Bowling Green. So we'll talk about that later on in the game, probably come fourth quarter. And we've seen some good ones this year. As got 11:53 to go as though the Miami Trace Panthers are going to take over, running their first play from the 20-yard line. Oh, encroachment on the defense, so it's going to bring up first down and 5 as the Wildcats make a penalty here in the first play of the second half. As Johnson gets the first down and takes it up to about the 31-yard line. So first down for the Miami Trace Panthers. Tackle by Jason Rickenberg. It's told during halftime by a Miami Trace fan that Miami Trace has 29 sophomores. So a big class for them coming up. We'll see a lot of next year.
He also commented that they have 16 juniors who most of them start. And as you said, 29 sophomores, and they've got a freshman team that's only lost once. So big things, and he said they're also big. The freshman class is big, so got a lot of things to look out for upcoming from the Miami Trace Panthers.
So they were a tough team last year and a tough team for years to come, it sounds like, if those kids keep working hard. So these guys are going to be a force to reckon with here in the next couple of years. Rosendahl was under center. It's second down and 9. He fakes the handoff, and Jared Van Osdale gets a hand up there and knocks down the Rosendahl pass as he's going to bring up third down at 9 for the Miami Trace Panthers. Nice job by Jared Van Osdale to get up in the air.
Yes, sir. That was a sweet defensive play by Jared Van Osdale. He got a hand in on the action. Jared Van Osdale really stepping up this year. So it's going to bring up a long 3rd and 9 for Trevin Rosendahl and his Miami Panthers. So we're going to see just what they're going to be able to do right here. Ball on the 33-yard line. Trevor back to pass. Goes over across the middle to a wide open Spear, still on his feet to the 40-yard line. First down and more for the Miami Trace Panthers. I'm going to say that was real close to about a, I don't know if to say 24-yard gain. Yes, indeed. Ball up to the 43-yard line. Wow, Miami is on the move, but it looks like 45 Johnson is a little shook up as he came off to the play, favoring, I'm going to say, his left arm. So we'll see what's happening there. Okay, they may have to go strictly to the air with his absence. Hand off to 44. Up to about the 44-yard line. Pick up of about 3. With 10 minutes and ticking. Oh, excuse me, that was a pickup of 6. Gonna bring up 2nd and 4. In comes number 15, Kevin Yanger, the 6'1", 160-pound senior tight end. Okay. All right. Here we go. Trevor Rosendahl back. Hands off to 42. Up to about the 25-yard line. First down, Panthers. That's 25, DJ Hickson. No, 42, Josh Flax, the 5'5", 160-pound senior fullback. Coming in for 45, and 45 has the shoulder pads off. They're going to take a closer look at him. He's really favoring that left arm. I got to say, he's getting some pain. And that isn't even the starting fullback. The starting fullback, we learned in that little conversation with the locals from Miami Trace, that he had a calcium build up. There's 44 Johnson. Patterson, the 5'7", 223-pound sophomore. That Matt Patterson is the one playing in the place of the original fullback, and he had a calcium buildup in his leg where it started to bruise, and he just couldn't go anymore, so they had to operate on him. So that's who they're missing tonight. But just remember, I believe we'll be seeing and hearing a lot of Matt Patterson in the next 2 years that we play Miami Trace. So here's Trevor. Fakes the give. Goes up the middle to about the 16-yard line. Excuse me, lost a yard. 8:20 in the third quarter. Lee Zamerup and Kenny Peach in on the play. Still looking at Johnson, the 5'9", 170-pound senior tailback. Looks like he's going to be all right once they get him taped up. Okay, 3rd and 2. Ball on the Wildcat 17-yard line. Cord is setting up his defense. 8 back in motion. 44 has the ball. I don't know. He did hit the first down. Up inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. Thought he was going down, Ryan, but he managed to stay on his feet. What they've done all night here, going for that second, third effort yards, and man, he got it.
Like many of their players, he's kept their legs moving and kept his momentum going, and he's a big kid at 5'7", 223 pounds. He's a load there for the Wildcats to take down, and he just kept moving, and Wildcats couldn't stop him with the first hit, as that's going to bring up first down and goal to go from the 9-yard line. Does he give Patterson right up the middle? No, he does not get in. He's a yard short as he picks up 8. This is Dave Ramos and John Huddle were in on the tackle. Bring up second down and goal to go from the 1-yard line. This is NCTV5, your hometown cable access station, bringing you the best that we have to offer. So there's 6:45 to go as the Miami Trace Panthers are really racking up the time here in the first half. Is this touchdown? Patterson as he leaps over the top for the touchdown. So 1-yard run for Patterson.
And that goes to prove that white men can indeed leap. And that's just what he did there, right over the Panther offense and the Wildcat defense, virtually untouched, right into the end zone for the Miami Trace TD. And I would imagine that they will be going indeed for the 2-point conversion. What they've done all night, they're 2 out of 3 on the conversions? 3 out of 4. Excuse me, 3 out of 4 on the conversions. Almost perfect. So we're going to see what's happening on their 5th try. Drops back, passes, 2-point conversion, good. Coverage is Ben Snyder. So they're 4 for 5. Brings up a score, 38-7 in favor of the Miami Trace Panthers. Half of the third quarter left, 6:35 left in the third. So we're going to get our first look at the Wildcat offense here. Yes, indeed. I'd like to thank the Henry County Bank for bringing you all Napoleon Wildcat football. Like an old friend, they're here for you, the Henry County Bank. Stop by any of the local convenient branches today. Okay. Hey, it looks like these teams are set. We're probably going to see that low bounder kickoff that only goes to, I'm going to say Doug Beneke, Brooks Pedraza, and I think that's Jared Van Osdale in there again, because I think they want to keep it away from the dangerous hands of Brad Cordes, Ryan Kramer, and Ben Snyder. We'll see as he steps it off. This is a kicker who goes back quite a ways, almost 10 yards. And indeed, that's just what they did, as it was fielded by Kramer. Kramer, there's a flag on the play, though. Kramer, he could go all the way at the 40, almost breaks the tackle inside Panther territory to the 38-yard line. But as I said, there is a penalty on the play. We'll see how this unravels, Ryan.
Once again, a good run back, although it's going to be negated by penalty. But another good run back by the Napoleon return teams is this is something I've been impressed with all season, is their ability to return kicks and kickoffs and punts, as the special teams have done a great job for us all year. They have had their letdowns at times. There have been a couple blocked punts, but for more times than not, they've been very reliable and done a very good job for the Wildcats this year. Scott Rex brings his team up to the line. 6:22 to go. I think they call a holding penalty. It takes him back to the 34-yard line. He's got one back in the backfield. Throws it up, and it's off. Intercepted by number 34. There's a one off of number 2, Ben Snyder's shoulder pad. Beneke, sorry, Beneke's shoulder pad, and then it went in number 34's hands, and so it's going to go right back to the Miami Trace Panthers with 6:15 to go. So Scott Rex's second interception of the year is tried a quick hitter to Doug Beneke, who was streaking across the middle of the field about the 40-yard line, bounded off of his shoulder pad and into the hands of a Miami Trace defender. So the Miami Trace Panthers once again have good field position at the 30-yard line. As there's a new quarterback in for, gives the number 32 quarterback is now number 6, David Andrews, 6'4", 175-pound sophomore quarterback. Give was number 32, Shane Sawyer, for a gain of 10 for the first down. Sawyer is a senior fullback for the Panthers. This number 6 Andrews comes underneath center. 2 backs. Give to number 34 Mike Hellenthal, sophomore tailback who just made the interception 2 plays ago. He picks up a gain of about 1. Hold on, there was a flag on the play, and it was a holding Miami Trace. The last tackle was by Lee Zamarippa and Ross Durham. So if they don't take the penalty, it'll be second down and 10, but they're going to take it. It's going to bring up a first down and 20, I do believe, from the 27-yard line. Oh, and all kinds of movement on the offensive and defensive lines. So we're going to have to see which way this goes. Both teams are pointing at the other team. False start. Miami Trace.
Special guest. And Indians and Buckeye fans, this is the special guest we've been talking about, Mr. Jeff Heinrichs from Napoleon, Ohio. He's going to talk to us a little bit about the Indians in the World Series and some great games that we saw this week, and some great games that they've been playing here in the trail to the World Series. Why don't you comment a little bit about the Cleveland Indians?
Thanks, Scott, for asking me up here tonight. As you probably know, I'm Napoleon's biggest Indians fan, or at least arguably so. It was an exciting series. I think obviously no one expected them to even get out of the Yankee series, which they did, rather dramatically, and then as the Orioles series, unwound, really every inning was almost like a ninth inning, drama, and it was just, I'm telling you, if you weren't a fan of either team, you'd have to, and a baseball fan would have to have loved that series, because it had a lot of little things in there, interspersed probably about every pitch. So interesting. It's great. I'm all excited, as I know that most of all the Indian fans are all excited about this series, and can't wait for it to open up tomorrow night.
Okay, let's talk about the crowd, the Indians crowd. I don't think that I've ever seen a crowd like that ever in any baseball game that I've ever witnessed, ever. Great crowd.
I think you hit upon the adjective of a baseball game. Being a Cleveland fan and, working in the city, living there for a number of years as I did, it is a blue-collar football mentality city. The Browns were the #1 team there, and probably always will be. And I think those fans are more or less matriculated over to the Indians, and now you've got this football-type crowd in the baseball atmosphere, and it really, I mean, it's obvious it drives those players. The players are pumped. David Justice comments that he, went from the Braves, who were world champions and always in the World Series for the last 4 or 5 years, has absolutely fell in love with it. He thinks they're the greatest fans around, and they are. I mean, they really hold up with the team, and Cleveland is a city that is just dying for a championship, and they were close with the Browns a number of years in the Bernie Kosar days. The Cavs were close a couple years, but more or less have really struggled. The Indians, obviously, the last world championship was nearly 40 years ago, 50 years ago, excuse me, and they're hungry for it. And if a city, I think, and I'm going to say this biased, but if a city ever deserved it, it's us.
Yep.
And I hope that it can come true this year. Just be storybook.
Okay. Let's talk about the World Series games itself. Two wild card teams, the Cleveland Indians and the Florida Marlins, the ones that had the last chance, are in the World Series and playing for the Gusto. What is your call? How many games? And obviously, who do you pick as the winner?
All right. Well, obviously, I'm going to go with my tribe. And truthfully, I think it's going to go 5 games. I think we're going to win in 5. I look for us to do no worse than a split in Florida, if not maybe win 2, and I think maybe they can sneak 1 game somewhere along the way. I'm not overconfident or anything like that. I don't think we're that much better of a team than the Marlins or anything like that, but I think there's such a thing as a little stroke of luck and a little bit of things are on our side, and hopefully the trend will continue in the World Series. I have a lot of faith in Hershiser. I mean, he's the Bulldog. He is the man, and he does not, he pitches hard. Jarrett Wright was awesome in the Yankee series, and he came out to Baltimore. I thought he threw some good pitches. They were just on him that night, and I think he's tough. Nagy looks like he's coming around. OJ has pitched well, and the bullpen has been great. What we need to do is get the bats untracked. They haven't hit very well in the last 2 series, but I think people forget the fact is that next to the Braves, the Yankees and the Orioles had the best pitching in the major leagues. Man, that's who we faced. And, we need Tomey to get untracked. We need, Vizquel and Roberts to get on base. Our defense is really, usually our strong point for the Indians has been hitting. And our defense and pitching are carrying us. So if that means the hitting can finally catch on, we are going to be tough to beat.
Okay. Well, thank you very much, Mr. Heinrichs, and we're going to say good luck to the Indians and, of course, the Buckeyes. I know you'll be in attendance tomorrow against Indiana, I believe. And so how do you think the Buckeye season's looking?
I think the Buckeyes are playing probably about as good as can be expected. I was a little disappointed, as we all were, in the Penn State game. We made some mistakes. Penn State's a great team. We didn't shut them down when we had to, and their running backs ran all over us. But I think we'll come around. I'd like to see this quarterback, scenario die out finally, and let the best guy play, no matter what class he is or anything like that. But I do think, we'll get things squared around, and it's going to come down to the end of the year. We'll see how the season plays out between Michigan State, Penn State, and the Buckeyes. So it's a fun season. You got to love it.
It is.
Hey,
There's nothing better than
letting me up here, buddy.
Hey, thank you for coming
yourself. You guys do a great job.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Go Indians. All right.
Okay, during the interview, we missed a 4-yard touchdown run by Salyers. So they went for it on 4th down and got a 10-yard pickup by their quarterback, Andrews, that kept the drive alive, and then they gave the 4-yard run to Salyer. Extra point was no good. Brings our score to 44-7 with 2:44 remaining. Set a long kickoff return by Ben Snyder as he brought it out to the 40-yard line. Brings up first down and 10 from there. Now I'm going to comment about the World Series here, Scotty. Going to give you my little pick here. To me, Cleveland, I'm going to upset a lot of Cleveland fans here. It will always be the mistake by the lake to me. Florida will take them here. All I got to say is Levon Hernandez. He will rule those tribe hitters, and Kevin Brown too, so I'm going to take Florida.
Well, to me, that sounds like the stakes are set. And Huffman's taking the Marlins. Heinrichs is taking the Indians. We'll see how it plays out. And, of course, we'll let you know who won. And I'm going to say, how many games, Ryan?
I'm going to have to go about 6 with Kevin Brown winning the last one and being the MVP.
Hey, you heard it right there. Dr. Heinrich's 5, Indians, Ryan Huffman 6, Marlins with Brown getting the win on the mound and also the MVP. Hey, we'll see. We'll see if maybe these guys have a little touch of the man upstairs with them and have a little inside track. We'll see how it all plays out, and we'll let you know on NCTV5, your hometown public access channel, bringing you the best that we have to offer. And here are the Napoleon Wildcats. 1st and 10 with 2:43 left in the third quarter. Rex drops back, goes to the air. No! Intended receiver Ben Snyder. Tight coverage by number 12. And Josh Jones, I thought it was almost a little bit too tight. But incomplete pass as well. 2nd and 10. Score 44-7. And we just heard a score. Holgate 36, Hicksville 20. Hopefully Holgate can pick up its first win of the season for the Holgate Tigers. Oh my. And there's a shuffle for the Miami Trace Panthers. 55 was never really set. Rex drops back, decides to keep it. Pressure under 12. Jones comes across to the 30, the 20, and there he is for a first down. Rex stepping up to carry this team. 2:27 in the third. They're moving in. They're in the red zone and moving the ball. Something that we need to see the Wildcats do, Ryan Huffman. So that's good enough for a first down.
Scott Rex doesn't get his notoriety for his speed very much, but when he gets outside, he does have some speed, and he can make guys miss. So that's something we haven't talked much about this year, and he does do a nice job of running the football for the Wildcats. As he's under center, he's got Ryan Kramer in the backfield. Drops back, lofts one up, might have, Doug Beneke incomplete as it was. There's two defenders down there. I think one of them, number 80. Ryan Faulkner did knock the ball down from Doug Beneke. Coach Node sends in Rodriguez and Rathke for Van Osdale and Beneke as this brings up 2nd down and 10. Like to see him, I really like that play call to see him go for the end zone right there and go for the touchdown, but incomplete, so it brings up 2nd down and 10. Got Kramer and Snyder in the backfield. Fakes the give to Kramer as he's going to roll out. He's going to keep it. We got a flag on the play. We have another flag on the play. That brings and takes the ball down to about the 7-yard line. Hopefully both flags, I'm going to guess that one's going to be a hold on the Wildcats, and hopefully the other one's going to negate the Wildcat penalty. We'll see what the calls are. We have two separate infractions on the play. Scott Rex has come up slow and is hobbling. Well, it's not a good sign for the Wildcats as both teams are going back. As Miami Trace says we're sending them back. We'll see what the calls are. They're going to move the ball all the way back to the 40-yard line. See what the call is. Clip Wildcats. And they only gave us one penalty. Okay, we don't know what the other one was. We'll say they know what they're doing. So this brings up 2nd down and 28 from about the 39-yard line with 1:35. Scott Rex drops back. Lost one up for Jared Van Osdale. Oh! No, they called incomplete, as they say. Hit the ground first.
I think he had it.
He came up with it. I don't know if he had it. We can't see from our vantage point of where the ball landed. If it came down on the ground, the ref was in good position. Called it incomplete at about the 15-yard line.
Okay, 3rd and 28, as Ryan said. Minute 27 in the third. Wildcats looking at the 3rd and 28 again. Ball on the Panthers 39. Rex, and this is a hard count trying to get him offside. Hey, he drops back, goes again to the air, intended for Snyder. The ball was thrown behind Snyder, so that's incomplete. Going to bring up 4th and 28. And again, the Wildcats hurt themselves. Something that we've seen week by week with penalties. And, you're in a dog-eat-dog world. You cannot survive in that kind of atmosphere. Penalties really just kill the Wildcats. And I know they've tried to improve that. I mean, that's what practice is for, but the snap, a good one. The kick is up, goes straight up over the lights, drops back to the 5, rolls to the 4. And that's where the Panthers will take over. They're going to have to drive 96 yards for the touchdown. So, with 1:10 left in the third, I would imagine this will take us well into the fourth. Okay, 44-7 here at Miami Trace. Okay, we're going to see just who's in here. We're looking at number 6, David Andrews, the 6'4", 175-pound sophomore. I would imagine that we will see plenty of him in the future.
That's right. He's one of those sophomores that one of the Miami Trace faithful was talking to.
Illegal substitution.
On us. And they just called illegal substitution on the Wildcats. 5-yard penalty. That's going to take it up to the 9-yard line. It's going to make it 1st down and 5. We had too many men on the field. 1st down and 5 from the 9. As David Andrews rushes the team onto the field. And Andrews had a quarterback sneak on 1st down again. He picks up at least 5 yards. It's going to be close to the 1st down. I do believe he has it. A neat little quarterback sneak that they run on
yes, sir.
when you don't really expect it, and it gets a good offensive push and gets 5 yards on the play. As Lee's going to rip a hustles off, and got 2 wideouts to the upper portion of the screen. Give is to Salyers for about 6 yards. I think the Miami Trace Panthers will be just content with grinding it out and running the ball against these Wildcats and seeing how much they can get just on the ground. And running out the clock. Here's we're approaching the end of the third quarter. There's 20 seconds to go. Score is 44-7. Good spin move by number 42. Going to be a 1st down for Josh Flax. Fullback, senior. Gain of 5 for Flax. Number 60, Shegets, had him for a moment, but he spun out of Shegets' tackle and got the 1st down. As that's going to be the end of the third quarter, as we have 3 quarters into the books. What's our score? 44-7 here in Panther Stadium, and just outside of Washington Courthouse, Miami Trace. The Wildcats are down here in Miami Trace. Now, Scott, now I'll go to that. Now that you have your thoughts on this question I brought up at the beginning of the quarter, we only got to see him for about 2.5 quarters, so I can't really judge him on that. So I'm going to have to say I'm going to have to go with Joe Williamson too. He ran the option real well for them and has put up great numbers this year. The other 2 quarterbacks, Bringman had a great wide receiver in Register, and he did a lot of it for him. Yep. And Carpenter had another great wide receiver for him too, and in Sainholtz. So I'm going to stick with you and go with Joe Williamson, and because he ran the ball and led his team very well. He is. He's a real tough in the Western Buckeye League still, undefeated. Looking for, I'm sure there's got to be a state berth there, and like to follow them. That'll probably be the closest team that we know besides Patrick Henry that'll be in the playoffs. Of course, Liberty Center also fighting for a berth. They need to keep the victories. They're going to be facing a tough Bryan team
coming up. I know they took on Wauseon tonight, and we'll see how that unfolds. I think Patrick Henry was at Delta, and Holgate was playing host, I believe, to Hicksville. And, of course, we're here at Miami Trace. But definitely a lot of teams to watch in our area. You know, the Tough Defiance team, and, of course, the Patrick Henry and the Liberty Centers. Really well represented in Northwest Ohio is in the state playoffs.
Let's talk about that a little bit. As Defiance is ranked in state in Division II, I do believe they are ranked 6th in the state. So they're representing Northwest Ohio very well. And that state, I do believe, 2nd in their region to go to the playoffs, and they're taking four teams from each region, so that they should be in the playoffs as they're playing St. Mary's tonight. And then Patrick Henry, they're also 2nd in the region. I think they're ranked 3rd in state in Division IV, I do believe. As the pass goes to number 11, and he breaks away. He's going to go down. He's being chased by number 65. Or number 55, Josh Fruth. He's taken it all the way down to the 30-yard line, because that's going to be sorry, it was Derek Buzzy Kramer. Yes, as he did a fine job of running him down. That was
Pass 30, 40.
it was about a 42-yard pass.
For a 3-yard long.
Obviously be into the playoffs and have the inside beat into the NWOAL championship after knocking off both Archbold and Liberty Center. So they should be in. There's a fumble on the last play, and they lose another yard.
I would say definitely another great team from PH. Very possible, as you said, the NWOAL championship. Yes, after beating the teams that they knocked off. A great round of applause, I think. Patrick Henry needs to pat themselves on the back, for a great season. And I mean, Liberty Center, too. That's just the way the dice was rolled. And, sometimes that happens in life, and Liberty is a team that's always going to fight. And they fought to the end in that game. They really did. Oh, fumble on the play, but they're going to say ground ruled. Really, the Patrick Henry Liberty Center, I consider them two equals. There wasn't any David or Goliath in that match. Every year when those two teams come to play, and especially of late, I mean, they are two equals. And it came down, I mean, look at the offensive numbers. I mean, it came down to whoever had the ball last, and, Patrick Henry did, and sometimes that's the way that the dice is rolled, and that's just what happened that night. So they'll come back, both teams will go to the drawing board, and we'll see how far PH goes. There's 6 with the carry, real close to the first down, I believe. 10-5 touchdown Miami Trace, as yet they score again. And both teams will always be there, but right now Patrick Henry's having the great seasons, and they're going to be the one that's going to represent them, and everybody's got to be happy for that.
That's right, and Patrick Henry would also like to congratulate their coach, Bill Inselman, a Napoleon teacher, as he teaches in our school system. I'd like to congratulate him and the great things he's done the last 2 years over there at Patrick Henry. And Liberty, they're also going to make the playoffs in Division IV out of the region. I think they're 4th in the region right now with their points that they've racked up through the computer. And Archbold is on the bubble. I do believe they are 5th right now, and they still have a chance to make the playoffs in Division V. And Bryan, I can't remember I don't really know where they're at. I think they're probably 6th, as they're going to need to leapfrog some spots. So it's going to be interesting to see, as there's a messed up play as number 16 Huddle comes through the line and takes down the kicker, and so the extra point is no good, as it is now 50-7 in favor of the Miami Trace Panthers with 8:38 to go. So Northwest Ohio should be very well represented in the state playoffs, with 2 teams from Henry County, Defiance, and possibly Archbold all reaching the playoffs.
you know, it paints a beautiful picture that it's really unwrapping itself right now, and we're going to see just how well representative we might be, and hopefully this is one of the greater years, and I hope so. And obviously we've got to look out for next year. There's going to be a real strong team coming out of Napoleon. I mean, the junior class and that sophomore class right now, there's already some sophomores playing, getting some nice minutes. There's a lot of tough guys in that junior class and sophomore class. I mean, I'm really saying, look out for the Napoleon Wildcats next year. It's going to be a nice season, really it is, and hopefully it'll be a nice one to call.
And those not wanting to see football come to the end when the Napoleon Wildcats finish up on October 31st as Brad Cordes breaks a run out to the 48-yard line. That's where the Wildcats will start off there. They don't want to end watching football, as they can go see those Patrick Henry Patriots and Liberty Center Tigers, whichever one they prefer. Go out and they can still see some fine football on Friday and Saturday nights. And most games really don't get that far away, and they try to pick a nice a neutral spot. And I remember a few years ago I followed the Liberty Center Tigers when they had names like Rex and Ryan Miller and you know, those guys, and you know, really I remember traveling to Fostoria, a few trips to the Finley, the college stadium over there. I think we were in the Bowling Green Stadium, if you'd picture, in the playoff picture, and it's a great feeling for any team that makes it there. Brad Cordes, as you see, made it up just across the 50-yard line. Like Scott said, you don't have to be a the Wildcats. As he fakes a give. Oh, and number 82, Nick Gillen for the Wildcats was wide open, but was just a little overthrown. For a minute,
kind of with Ross Durham.
As it brings up 4th down and 6. As he is now punting for the Wildcats also, as he... Oh, and it's touched by and it's going to be a fumble for them, and the Wildcats will take over at the 43-yard line. So bright spot here with 7 minutes to go for the Wildcats. So they pick up the ball at the, oh, sorry, it's a 37-yard line for the Wildcat. Huddle gives to Matt Belford, and he jogs out to about the 34-yard line for a gain of 3. Percentage, but lots of yards. So it's good for them. And a mix-up in the Napoleon backfield, as it looked like John Huddle ran into his running back. And he keeps it, and he gets to the line of scrimmage, 34 yards. As Huddle drops back. Oh, and through the hands of Ryan Bockerman.
I'll have it wrapped up.
As Huddle rolls out, oh, and through the hands of Nick Gillen at the 15-yard line, as that's going to hand the ball over to Miami Trace with 5:22 remaining in the football game. As Andrews is in, and he hands off to... Oh, no, it's not Andrews. It's Reed, Ryan Reed, also listed as a split end for them. He's Reed comes under center. Pitch goes to number 25, DJ Hickson. Flags on the play as the ball goes out to the 41-yard line. Loose field, and gotta have a reunion out there for everyone. Is all 76 years that it was, 75 years that it was in use in Napoleon. All those classes in that time from 1922 to 1997. Sorry, to come out and come out to the field, as they're gonna have your sign for your class and stand behind your class and just pay a tribute to Old Loose Field and get ready for the new Buckenmeyer Stadium. Pay a tribute to the old and get ready for the new. So 3rd down and 18 for the Miami Trace Panthers with 4 minutes to go. As their ball is on their own 25-yard line. As it gives to number 84. He's swarmed down about the 30-yard line. It's going to bring up 4th down and 13. 110 of those coming in the first half. A big punt as it goes off. Cordes is going to pick it up. He's going to run it out to about the 24-yard line. And Patterson finished the game with 43 yards on 9 carries. Sawyer at 20 yards on 4 carriers. Andrew, extra point, no good. Johnson, 13-yard run. Rosendahl to Ford, 2-point conversion. Patterson, 1-yard run. Rosendahl to Spears, 2-point. Sawyer, 4-yard run. Extra point, no good. And then a 36-yard run by David Andrews to finish out the scoring for them, and it comes out to 50 points for them.
I think they just get the ball back. Either that or we're going to see the punt again.
It looks like they're going to replay the punt as there was a...
Which is a good thing.
So I have no idea what just happened. The refs are talking it over, and we have Ryan Backerman and Brad Cordes deep for the Wildcats to receive this punt. Rex on the ground at 25 yards rushing. Kramer at 17. Those were the 2 leading rushers for the Wildcats. Said Rex was 4 for 9 for 34 yards receiving for passing. Durham had 16 yards receiving. Snyder 3 and Van Osdale 15. The lone touchdown came on a Snyder 3-yard run. Extra point by Russell was good. Into the scoring for the Wildcats is the score. Right now we have 57 and 3:05 remaining here in Panther Stadium. This is NCTV5, your hometown cable access station, bringing you the best that we have to offer. Huddles in. Give to Ryan Backerman as he works hard for 9 yards. 3 backs in the backfield. The give is to Josh Weekers, who gets about 7 yards. The Wildcats on first down. First down Wildcats from the 49-yard line. A little under 2:30 remaining in the clock ticking. Give is to number 34, Kenny Peach. Gain of 6 more. Second down and 4.
Second down and 5.
Huddle give to number 6 Belford. Another first down for the Wildcats. First down. With 1:40 remaining as they move the chains. Huddle gives to Belford again, and he just plugs forward, keeps the head down, and runs for another 13 yards. Takes it up to the 28-yard line. So Wildcats are playing for pride right now. Oh, gain of 9, they say. Is it second down at 1, 31-yard line. As it gives to Belford again. And there's another flag on the play. The stands is first down Wildcats. 53 seconds remaining. And face mask is a preliminary call on the Miami Trace Panthers.
second this year.
It's a big one, a 15-yarder as they take the ball all the way down to the 15-yard line. As the Wildcats are knocking on the door with 50 seconds to go. As he gives to Weekers around the top of your screen, he breaks the tackle and takes the ball down to about the 7-yard line. It's going to be second down, 3 to go with just under 30 seconds to go. Second down and 3 from 7-yard line. So we got Rathke, the lower portion of the screen. Belford and Weekers in the backfield. Huddle. Huddle rolls out. Touchdown, Wildcats. So Wildcats get a late touchdown with Huddle taking it in from 7 yards out with 19 seconds remaining. So nice job by the second team offense. Come in and show Wildcat fans what they can do. It's 50-13 now with 19 seconds remaining. Looks like they're going for 2. Huddle's still in. Huddle's under center. Fakes the give. Extra point's good to Gilland. 50-15. Miami Trace. Well, I imagine the Wildcats will kick off and down it once, and that'll be ball game. Scotty, I know we're going to have a good time tonight as we head back to our hotel in Dayton, the Hampton Inn. Had no troubles getting down here. Hope the team makes it back home safely after the reserve game.
Everybody, nice safe trip back home. Watch those drivers at night. Everybody keep your eyes out, stay awake if you are taking the drive all the way back home, and have a nice safe trip. And you pray to the good Lord that he has his hand in this and lets everybody get back safely and unharmed.
That's right. Everybody drives safely on the way home from Miami Trace.
Oh, that's been a long time since we've seen a ball blow off the stand. I believe the last time that was at our place, I think it was against Findlay. And those balls, the wind was blowing them all over the place.
As number 11 receives a kickoff with 13 seconds remaining. Jason Hatzel has just told us it's a little chilly down there.
In the press box.
Us in the press box here aren't that chilly, but I'm sure down there outside it was a little raw out as they give to number 38.
But that's another example of NCTV bringing you the best that we have to offer and sacrificing our lives and our bodies for you, the community. Hey, as time expires, that's it. A score of 50-15. The Napoleon Wildcats move to 1-7, and the Miami Trace Panthers advance to 6-2. I imagine we'll hear this name in the state playoffs also.
I would imagine so. I think they were fourth in the region also. Yeah. So we'll see them and another team we played that'll make it to the playoffs. We'd also like to give a special thanks to Patty Martinez